Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Barker Stadium in Chapmanville, West Virginia on this Halloween night. And we are here for a special game here this evening. Two undefeateds in the coal fields of southern West Virginia ready to do battle to see who can move to 9-0 on the year. Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you, J.J. Pruitt, our engineer, as Chapmanville and Mingo Central both come in here at 8-0 on the season, and there really haven't been as many games like this in the Southern Coal Fields, Dwayne, that have been this hyped coming in, and we all know that we're possibly on the verge of a really special evening of football.
Absolutely, Chris. Very rarely do you see this kind of matchup. I think there's maybe 6 or 7, maybe possibly 8 total undefeated teams in this entire state of West Virginia. We're lucky enough to see 2 tonight. You know, what a showdown here in Logan County. We got the weather, we got the matchup. Couldn't ask for much more.
Yeah, it's going to be a tremendous evening, and we've got so many things to talk about coming into this game tonight, but we've got 2 tails of the tape that we're going to bring your way now just to try and spot and analyze some of the things that are key on both sides. So if you aren't familiar with Chapmanville or Mingo coming into this game, you kind of know who the playmakers are to look for on the evening. So let's start with Mingo Central here tonight, Dwayne. Again, 8-0, coming off the win over Lincoln County last week, 49-14. They've got all sorts of athletes all over the field, just like Chapmanville. Let's take a look at their stat leaders first.
Yeah, Mingo comes in, like we mentioned, 8-0 on the season, being led by their quarterback. You know, Knuckles has 1,844 yards with 26 touchdowns. Coleman comes in, you know, running the ball. He has 686 yards with 11 touchdowns. And, of course, we have the recently Marshall commit with Aiden Burke with 637 yards and 5 touchdowns. So right off the bat, you see for their premier players, from the quarterback, running back, and wide receiver spots, they can put up points, they can put up yards, and everything.
Well, now let's take a look over at the Chapmanville side of things, and who is it, if you're a Mingo fan, getting a first look? What are you looking for tonight on the Chapmanville side?
Yeah, Chapmanville has been so dominant on the offensive side of the ball. Most people have heard, but if you haven't, you got to know it starts up top there with Dakota Dalton under center. You know, he's at over 1,600 yards and 23 touchdowns, 18 of those being passing. And then we know we have the People's running back, Preston Kovac, coming in as just 1 yard under 1,000 yards already with 15 touchdowns. And then, of course, Trey Ward, the explosive playmaker, coming in with 650 yards and 10 touchdowns. And if we take a look at the tail of the tape, you will actually see how close these teams are. We talked about their main players. If you look at their points per game on the screen there, you see that Chapmanville averages 43 points a game, with Mingo averaging almost 37 points. So by looking just at the stats, you're thinking you're going to get a shootout. You know, they follow that up with the yards per game, Chapmanville with 436, Mingo with 360. The passing game, Mingo has a slight edge there, 231 to 186 per game. And then Chapmanville is averaging 250 yards a game on the ground, and Mingo with 127. You know, it's going to be a big loss today. Aiden Burke is not playing for Mingo Central. We're going to see how they adjust to that. But, you know, Mingo has a great coaching staff, great players everywhere, so I'm anxious to see what happens.
It is, and it's a shame that Aiden isn't healthy, and hopefully Preston Kovac will be healthy for Chapmanville, but at the same time, still plenty of star talent out here tonight. Well, we're going to step aside for a quick break and be back after this as you're watching high school football action with us right here on the D&D Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody, here to Chapmanville, West Virginia. Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you, with J.J. Pruitt, our engineer, as Chapmanville just being introduced down on the field. They're wearing their camo jerseys here tonight on this Halloween evening as Mingo Central down in the far end zone getting set to be introduced right now. And here come the Miners looking to try and come in here and pull off the upset here tonight. And it's really been a coin flip as far as people are concerned this evening, Dwayne. You've had people saying, well, if Mingo does this, they're going to win. If Chapmanville plays this way, they're going to win. I mean, it seems like everybody's kind of got, you call it heads or tails, and we'll see how this one comes out tonight. Yeah, it's so interesting to see online. I've seen more chatter about this game online with predictions from the fan bases to a little bit of smack talk, and you love to see it. On paper, they look very, very similar. We're going to see how they match up face-to-face. They've had some common opponents. We've seen how they've done against that, but on paper it looks pretty often. I actually ran into Coach Jason Maynard trick-or-treating yesterday, and he had a little bit of a take. He said Tigers by 40, I think I saw.
Wow.
Maybe
okay.
He was hopped up on sugar, but he's also a Browns fan, so I'll let him slide on that, and I won't say too much since they beat my Packers, but that's the biggest prediction that I've seen. But I'm like you, Chris, a play either way, and these kids have to be pumped up. You see the coverage there at midfield. It's the WSAZ game of the week. It's Metro News is here, but only D&D Sports is bringing you live coverage. Absolutely. So we're glad you're with us here tonight for what's going to be an exciting evening of football action. We want to thank all the people helping us bring you this action tonight. Again, Rebound Physical Therapy, Smell My Tarts, love that business, Perry Brothers Pawn Shop, Blessings and Blooms, Salmon Supply, Styles Unlimited, White Eye Care, Logan Regional Medical Center, Hill Chiropractic, PT12 Pizzeria, great pizzeria restaurant, Stereo Video Unlimited, Trend Services, Domino Printing, LB&T Banking, and Runyon Insurance, our main sponsors here tonight, along with the Tug Valley Wellness Center. So now all the talking is done, Dwayne. Now we just have 48 minutes of football left to see who has bragging rights in Southern West Virginia and who will walk out here undefeated. Both teams, they're county champions as well. So this is all that's left to maybe prove who's the best team in Southern West Virginia. Yeah, and you couldn't ask for anything more. We talked about how rare it is to see undefeated teams face up this late in the season, and for them to be quote-unquote rivals so close together here in the Logan Mingo area, it's just such a treat for us. And what better way to settle when you go head-to-head? You don't have to say what if, what that. You're going to see who's the better team. You're going to see who can take advantage of mistakes, who can handle the hype, who can handle the pressure of finishing the season undefeated. We're going to see how teams handle that. And I'm really curious to see if Chapmanville, they haven't faced any adversity at all this year. I was talking this morning. I don't think I remember them being behind the sticks. I don't remember second and long very often, third and long. Mm-hmm. So if Mingo can cause some disruption, some adversity, let's see how Chapmanville handles that. And you're absolutely right about that. This Chapmanville club, it's been a season of 20, 30, 40-point wins. They haven't faced a team quite like Mingo all season long, and I think it's likewise on the other side for Mingo. And now we're going to find out how these teams stack up as Mingo will kick off to Logan to get the festivities started here tonight. We are so glad you're with us here on Halloween evening for this matchup of undefeateds as the right leg swings the ball into the air, and we're underway as it'll be a low skipper to about the 21, taken by Chapmanville across the 30-35 and out to about the 37-yard line. Looked to be Austin Atkins on that return. It was. Big congrats to Austin Atkins receiving a college offer this week from Muskingum. Great kid, great player on the field on both sides of the ball. Big congrats to him. Yeah, I told him, I said, if there's a beach involved, take it. So now Dakota Dalton will bring his troops out here on 1st and 10. Again, he had 5 touchdown passes last week in the blowout win over Logan 42-7 to clinch the county championship for Chapmanville. Line up right along the line of scrimmage on 1st and 10. They'll give it off in the backfield, and ball came out late, but Collins ruled down on the play in a short pickup of about 2.
We've talked about big play Collins all year, and if you can hold him to a 1 or 2 yard gain, you're doing something this year. And you mentioned Dakota's game last week. He was one of D&D's primetime performers, 13 of 16 for 220 and 5 touchdowns. Anytime you have more touchdowns than incompletions, it's a pretty good game, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that would qualify as a pretty solid outing for Dakota Dalton. And now he'll put it in the air for the first time. Deep pattern down the sideline for Ward, and he's got it down to about the 30-yard line as a tough over-the-shoulder grab.
We've seen it all year, Chris. What a throw, what a catch by Ward. One of the best connections in the state, regardless of class. What a way to open up this game. We've seen it multiple times. Now, this is the 9th game. We've seen it for 9 games now. Not surprising, but always great to see.
That was a perfect ball right there as Donovan Baltimore was in coverage. He's had some interceptions this season for Mingo, and that time just a great pass as Dalton now goes with a quick strike to Ward, and good tackle made to hold him to about a 7-8 yard gain. But now Chapmanville getting rolling here after that big gainer to Ward.
That's a small little wrinkle we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen many quick slants with Ward. I like that because we know he only takes a half a step to get full speed, so I like the look of the quick slant. And Chapmanville running a little modified hurry up here.
They go quickly again. They give it off to Collins this time. Disappears along the left side of the line. He's going to be right near the first down. And a little bit of exchange between Dalton and a player right after that play. Has looked like a little bit of playful pushing and shoving after the play.
And, once again, Mingo does a good job with the running game. Most of the time, Collins is a change of pace back coming in. Let's see how he's going to do with a feature back. Possibly Kovac needing some time, off that injury last week. We'll see how many snaps he plays tonight. But let's see how Collins does in this feature role position. Again,
Kovac hurting his leg last week in the win over Logan. Collins in as the primary back as they try to go with a quick hitter on 3rd and 1. Pass is short, and now it's going to be 4th and 1.
That had to be rushed because of the pass rush and the breakdown there by the offensive line, something we literally haven't seen this year from Chapmanville. We talked before the game that they haven't faced much adversity, and, that rushed everything. So far, with the exception of the long pass to Ward, Mingo's defense has played pretty good. What a crucial 4th down coming up here.
Now they're going to bring Kovac in for the first time tonight here on this 4th and 1. Mingo crowds the line of scrimmage, and now we get a whistle and a timeout burned by the Miners with 9:51 to go here in the opening quarter. We'll step aside for a quick break and be back after this as you're watching high school football action on the D&D Sports Network.
The big win, awesome. The smell, not so much. That's why I use Smell My Tarts. Handmade wax melts, car diffusers, and room sprays that make everything fresh again. Because life's messy, but your home doesn't have to smell like it. Shop now at smellmytarts.com.
I'm Devin Maynard, I'm number 11.
I'm Keziah Joplin, number 3.
My name is Dakota Dalton, number 15.
I am Rob Boyle, number 70.
I'm Bryson Eli, number 28.
I'm Bam Coleman, number 20.
My name is Preston Kovac, number 22.
I am Lucas Lambert, number 10.
My name is Cameron Sloan, number 1.
I'm Bones Lafferty, number 28. You can catch me every Friday night on D&D Sports.
Fourth and 1 for Chapmanville on this opening drive at the Mingo Central 22-yard line. Already a pivotal play in this game as Mingo's defense crowds the line of scrimmage. Chapmanville will give it off to Kovac, pushes forward. I don't think he got there. Let's see where they spotted at. Mingo Central celebrating as if they got the stop, and it appeared as if they did from the initial hit.
We talked about the adversity aspect of this game, Chris, and already what a stand by Mingo Central. 4th and short. You look over, you see Kovac walking off a sideline. That's a sight that you don't want to see, and they come up with a huge stop. And it unfortunately looks like they are helping Kovac off the field.
Yeah, again, you didn't know how much he was going to be able to push it tonight with that leg injury and already being helped to the sideline. And this is a devastating scene for Chapmanville after he got hurt last week at Logan.
You got to admire him for gutting it out, but you could see from that takeoff he had no explosiveness at all, when he got that handoff. But you hate to see that. You want to see that kid try, but you don't want to risk further injury.
And you can see the disappointment from Kovac as he sits on the bench, kind of knowing that that was probably it for the evening for him. As looks like a flag down, and we're going to get a delay of game against Mingo Central. But now you have Aiden Burke out on Mingo Central's side. You've likely got Kovac out for the rest of the night on Chapmanville's side, so you've got two big studs not in the game now on both sides here this evening, as Knuckles will bring this pass-happy offense out on 1st and 15 with 5 receivers. Throws to his left, and Chapmanville swallows it up quickly, as he found his safety valve that time, but just not a lot there to work with.
Very quick screen pass, but Chapmanville's defense right there. Great tackle, 2nd and long.
So it'll be 2nd and 15 officially. So they say, well, actually they are going to say a pickup of a couple on the play. They'll get it out to the 20. It'll be 2nd and 13 with 9:17 to go here in the first quarter. Knuckles will go from the shotgun again, empty. He'll keep it himself off the right side, pushes forward, and he's going to be met and dropped after about a 2-yard gain. So it'll be 3rd down and 11.
Tried to mix it up a little bit on a 2nd long with a QB draw there. Chapmanville's up to the task. You know, that brings up a very crucial 3rd and long here in their own side of the field. Chapmanville can make something happen here.
Now 5 receivers, 4 to the bottom here, as Knuckles tried to go with a hard count, see if he could get Chapmanville to jump. Mingo needs the 32-yard line for a 1st down, deep down the far sideline. Good coverage, good catch, but was he in bounds? And looks like he's going to be ruled out of bounds on the catch. So it'll be a 3 and out for Mingo Central after they turn Chapmanville over on downs.
You love to see them taking a shot, and you see the arm talent there from Knuckles. That pass was right on point, unfortunately just outside of the boundary for the Miners.
And down on the sideline, Kovac still trying to walk up and down the sideline right now just to see how his leg feels. And like we said, with him and Burke out, that's a big loss on not just the offensive side of the ball, but the defensive side of the ball for both teams. It's high snap, but able to be gathered. This will be a deep kick. Possible chance here for Chapmanville as they give it off for Adkins. Adkins met and hit after a short gain, and that's a huge win for Mingo Central. Anytime Adkins or Ward get their hands on the ball in a punt return, you just hold your breath.
Exactly, Chris. We've talked all season about having that dynamic duo back there in the return game, and that's the best coverage I've seen all year on a Chapmanville when they're returning a punt. So already we've seen the Miners make a great defensive stand, a great play here in punt coverage. Let's see how Chapmanville responds. They stood up on defense, got the ball back in great field position. Let's see how they respond or adjust to having that stop against them on their first drive. They're used to scoring so quick and so easily. So you always got to wonder, these guys are great on offense, but you've got to take the mental aspect when it comes into this when you've never faced adversity. And you're probably going to be sick of hearing that word, but I just think that's a big key to Chapmanville's success in this game and in the playoffs.
Absolutely. And you know, we talked about the offenses and all the playmakers. It's really going to come down to which defense is able to stand tall tonight as Collins gets free into the secondary, pulled from the side and brought down at the 35-yard line for a pickup of 16.
There's that big playability we saw. Great blocking up front by Levi Robinson and crew. Diego with a good block there, and we see them on roll. Usually when Chapmanville gets that first down, we see how they get in a rhythm with the play calling by Coach Barker, and anytime they get even close to the red zone, they're dangerous.
So they march down inside the 25 on their opening drive. Mingo held firm on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. Now Chapmanville trying to get rolling again. Quick little throw to the outside, completed, but nice gang tackling by Mingo as they really want to eliminate any of those yak yardage, yards after catch, or anything after the first initial hit. They know they've got to tackle in open space very well tonight.
Yeah, I wish I knew the stats statewide of yards after the catch, because Chapmanville has so many weapons who are so good with that. It doesn't matter if it's a running back or receiver. The first contact rarely gets these guys on the ground.
So that'll be a gain of about 3 for Chapmanville. 7:20 to go here in the first quarter. 3 receivers for Dalton. He'll give it off to Collins. Collins bursts into the line, pushes forward, and he follows his blockers for another 1st down as he gets it down to close to the 23-yard line.
I really like that look from Chapmanville, that little quick, like, read action look. They can pull that later on and get it out, because Collins has smashed them up the middle. They can pull that later, throw a little quick wide receiver screen to Ward, and all that field will be wide open.
Once again, Chapmanville goes quickly here. They'll spot it officially at the 24-yard line of Mingo Central here on first down. As they look back to the sideline, change up the play here. 2 receivers to the bottom, 1 up top. Dalton will give it off to Collins again. Collins, big burst off the left side, pushing inside the 20 to about the 15, and he'll be close to another first down.
What a great block there by Jackson Topping down the field, just moving his man out of the way. And Chapmanville has seen something on tape that they like running between the tackles. We've seen a lot of off-tackle runs this season by Kovac and Collins, but they're on the interior of this line. They've seen something they like against this minor defense.
And again, with this being 2nd and inches, I wouldn't be surprised to see Chapmanville put this ball in the air right here to try and see if they could come up with something big, maybe even a touchdown right now. On 2nd and 1, they'll give it off to Collins, though. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as Collins will get the first down to about the 12-yard line as he picks up 3 more. Well, now we do have a flag down. Let's see, Chapmanville looking like they're shrugging their shoulders at the moment as if it could be on them.
Like you just spoke, Chris, 2nd and inches for this offensive, with any team, especially this team, is the down you want. You could take that shot. What you don't want is a penalty to back you up, and it looks like what we have here.
So Chapmanville has a costly penalty now. This is going to be a personal foul or an unsportsmanlike call against the Tigers. So I believe they accomplished the first down, and now they're going to have to move the markers back. So they're virtually going to be back where they were moments ago with it being a new set of downs. So it's almost like you did all that work for nothing now.
At least they got that first down, so they have a new set of downs to go with this, so that lessens the impact a little bit.
And so it is 1st and 10 for the Tigers back at the 27-yard line. Dalton will drop the throw, quick hitter near side, completes it down to the 20-yard line, and inside the 20 goes Chapmanville, as this short passing game working very effectively thus far. As trying to see who it was on the grab, it may have been Collins, or actually it's Austin Atkins who made that catch.
I do like these wrinkles of the short, quick passes. We haven't seen a whole lot, but they're adjusting some things with obviously with Kovac being out. But you constantly got to evolve throughout the season because the longer it goes, the more film teams have against you. So I like these wrinkles by Coach Belcher and the Tigers.
On 2nd and 2, tried another quick hitter, but this time knocked down at the line of scrimmage as Mingo got their hands up that time and able to knock it away.
Great heads-up play there by the Miners defense because they're already seeing this. They're getting coached up. Chapmanville's going short. If you can't get to the quarterback as a defensive end or a pass rusher, get those hands up, make some things happen.
And it may have been Peyton Parker who got his hands on that ball. Again, the roster we got from Mingo was online a little bit all over the place as far as numbers go, so we apologize if we're a little late getting some names out or if anything's off kilter. You can try and correct us online if we do have someone wrong, as Dalton will keep it on 3rd and 2, gets to the outside. Dalton has the angle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chapmanville.
What a play call by Coach Barker. They've had this handoff to Collins up the middle. I thought he might pull it and throw it. He pulled it, took it himself. Great touchdown by Dalton.
And James Barker, the offensive coordinator, doing his best Sergio Garcia down the sideline right there, pumping his fist as he's excited now. On the second possession, Chapmanville takes the lead 6-0. And now we'll be on for the extra point. As it'll be Jonathan Farrell on to kick. Snap is back to Archer Altizer. Kick is up, and this one is good. And Chapmanville takes a 7-0 lead with 5:05 remaining in the first quarter. Back after this as you're watching high school football action with us right here on the D&D Sports Network.
At Logan Regional Medical Center, our comprehensive inpatient rehabilitation program helps get you back to living life. With an 8-bed unit for patients 18 and over, our caring team of doctors, nurses, and rehabilitation specialists work with you, providing a full line of services to help you restore your capabilities and get you back home and back to living. Logan Regional Medical Center, providing inpatient rehabilitation close to home.
Welcome back, everybody, here to Chapmanville, West Virginia. Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you. J.J. Pruitt, our engineer, as it is 7-0 Chapmanville after the 17-yard touchdown run by Dakota Dalton on 3rd and 2. And now the Tigers will kick it away as McClanahan will be the kickoff man for the Tigers. As he waits to get the okay from the official. And now it'll be big to see how Mingo Central responds after falling behind her early, as there's a high squibber going to make its way down to about the 25-yard line, fielded there by Sarton, and he's going to be hit and drop backwards, not much on the return, and now Mingo will open up from their own 29-yard line.
Great coverage there by the Tiger defense. I do apologize. I myself didn't see the number on that, but great coverage there by the Tiger defense. And they answered the call. They got a stop on their first drive on fourth down, and they responded, changing up their play calls a little bit from the previous tendencies. Dalton runs it in from the quarterback spot for a touchdown. So great answer by the Tigers. Now it's the Miners' turn, like you said. What are they going to do? Do they change anything at all? Do they change their approach? How are they going to handle this? Because, you know, they're missing one of their star players. Mm-hmm. So that they're already behind the 8 ball a little bit there. So they have to deal with that, some changes with that, and being down 7-0.
And a holding penalty on the return is going to push them back to their own 19-yard line. And again, the winner of this game definitely in the catbird seat for an undefeated season as well. As Knuckles bobbles the snap, in trouble now, and he's going to get sacked back at the 15-yard line. A little miscommunication on that exchange, and Knuckles just had to eat it back at the 15.
That looked like 66. David Browning, was that the correct call on that with the sack?
I believe so.
Okay, great job there by the defense. You know, backing them up even more. They have the holding penalty. They're backed up in their own territory. They're once again in 2nd and long. That's not where they want to be right now.
And that's the thing, throwing deep and throwing long here tonight is going to be tough because the corners on both sides are so good as well. So you get behind the sticks on 1st down, that definitely makes life a lot more difficult than it normally is for these two teams to try and get out of trouble. Now Knuckles will go out of shotgun again, quick screen to the near side, trying to turn upfield, running into a blocker and being brought down after about a gain of 4, it appears, along the near side, as that appeared to be that's Donovan Voldemort.
You know, it is Halloween. I thought you said Voldemort there for a second, but great hustle play there by Benji Aggins, running that play down from behind. But as a really nice setup there with a bubble screen, gets him into 3rd and manageable. That's the kind of call you want on 2nd and extra long to just get half of that yardage back to make it give you a better percentage chance on 3rd and medium, 3rd long.
So it's 3rd and 6, so they're back to, like you said, manageable now after that gain. On 2nd down, as back to throw. They set up a quick screen, able to get away from the first man, cutting up field to the 30. This could be close. I think he got it with that dive right at the end.
What a play design there by the Miners. They show a bubble screen on the far side. They show that very well. The defense reacts to it. Then they throw a screen in the slot position. What a fantastic play design, one of the best I've seen all season.
Keziah Joplin able to make the grab and get that 1st down. That's a huge 1st down for Mingo after Chapmanville just went down and scored. So we can close in on 3 minutes to go here in the 1st quarter. Knuckles will now slow things down as they try and adjust at the line of scrimmage. It's Jace Coleman, the running back for Mingo Central. They'll fake it to him. Knuckles keeps it, but once again he's bottled up inside the pocket, and he's going to get minimal yardage, if anything, maybe even lost a little bit.
What a play there by 64 Josh Porter. He takes on the blocker, shoves him back, and still gets in on the tackle with a few other Tigers there. Great play by 64 Josh Porter.
And right now, Chapmanville has done a great job of shutting down everything at the line of scrimmage, so it could be an evening where Mingo Central is going to have to air it out a lot to try and get their yardage. As Knuckles looks to change things up after seeing the coverage from Chapmanville. To throw, looks over the middle, has a man, and it's hot, and a huge hit laid on. And thankfully he's able to get up as Austin Atkins just destroyed number 11 of Mingo Central on the play, trying to find that number.
That's the kind of plays you want to see in a battle of undefeated teams. What a pass play, first of all, but what a big-time hit by Austin Atkins. He's been involved early and often on both sides of the ball.
And that was Jacob Maynard who made that catch. And now Mingo up the middle with Coleman. He breaks inside the 45, the 40 before he's brought down. But we've got a flag down in the backfield.
The flag come in so immediately, so soon after the snap. That flag came from the backside. It came flying through across our eyesight here, and it was very quick. I don't know if they have a bet who can throw the flag the farthest and quickest going on here tonight, but I don't know if I've seen that before.
Wow, that was the fastest holding call I think I've seen in quite a while.
I don't even know how you had time to hold because it was snap and flag was thrown.
I was going to say, if Mingo did, they must have just snapped the ball and immediately grabbed and ripped at somebody, because they had that set up well right after that first down. Again, Maynard able to make that big grab and rolled a clean hit on the field from Adkins. But now this holding penalty will make it 1st and 20 back to their own 36. So give it off to Coleman again, trying to get outside, turns up field, and Coleman, nice run for him back out to the 45. And I tell you what, he is the answer to Jeremy Collins for Mingo Central. He is a tough little running back, and he gets a ton of yardage whenever he gets his hands on the ball. He's very quick, very slippery.
Very, very well-developed play, very fast. As soon as he gets that handoff, he was across line of scrimmage fast. They almost get the penalty yardage back, so they're still looking at 2nd and long. But I got to give Mingo some credit here. They have been behind the sticks almost every possession, and they're doing a great job by giving themselves a chance to extend these drives.
It'll be 2nd down and 11 with 1 minute to go in the first quarter. 7-0, Chapmanville leads it. As Knuckles will drop out now, looks over to the sidelines. So he'll have 2 receivers to the bottom, 1 up top. Knuckles loads up, goes deep down the field, intercepted. Picked off at the 31, brought back the other way across midfield, and being pushed out of bounds along the Mingo sideline. For the Tigers, it looks to be Austin Adkins, who is playing center field, and he comes up with a pick.
What a first quarter from Austin Adkins. He's made a catch. He had a huge hit, and now the turnover. The one thing that the Miners can't afford is turnovers, loss on downs, bad field position. That's a gut punch because they have the ability to throw the ball. What a play by Austin Adkins. We started off the top of the broadcast talking about him getting a college offer, and he's showing why, because he's been all over the place.
Yeah, and he did a good job of almost baiting that throw that time. He started to move up and then drop back, and Knuckles was throwing to a spot that time and didn't see Adkins. How could he? He's wearing camo. He gives it off on 1st down, and Collins had the ball ripped out but able to fall back on top of it as he picks up 4, close to 5 yards. And Mingo's been doing that a lot, been ripping at the ball, trying to tear it free. They've almost dislodged it a couple of times. That time they did get it free.
Yeah, that you can see that's been a point of emphasis. I'm very lucky that ball bounced right back into the stomach of Collins.
17 seconds left in the first quarter. Let's see if Chapmanville elects to try and run another play here. So they have it at the Mingo 43-yard line, leading at 7-0. Down to 7, down to 6. Dalton will call for the ball, gives it off. Collins met and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Big hit laid on. And that will end the first quarter of play with Chapmanville leading Mingo 7-0 in the Battle of Undefeateds. We'll be back after this as you are watching high school football action right here on the D&D Sports Network.
Getting ready for sports means protecting those eyes. Up to 90% of sport-related eye injuries can be prevented with proper eye protection. White Eye Care knows this and is committed to providing the best protective sportswear for your child's eyes. As a proud sponsor of our community sports programs, we want to see our kids protected, from the little ones up to the big leagues. Our huge selection of eyewear makes finding that perfect pair easy. So win big this season. Call White Eye Care in Logan for an appointment today.
Here at Logan Bank and Trust, we are committed to serving the needs of the Southern coalfields.
For any of your financial needs, we encourage you to stop by one of our 5 convenient locations or apply online today at lbnt.com.
Whether you choose to stop by or visit us online, our team is here to help you every step of the way.
Buying a new home, expanding your business? Choose Logan Bank and Trust. Let's bank together.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
7-0, Chapmanville leads Mingo Central. As we start quarter number 2, Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you. J.J. Pruitt, our engineer. Again, both teams coming in undefeated at 8-0. Mingo Central in AA, Chapmanville in AAA, and it's 3rd and 7. Quick hitter Benji Atkins comes up with it inside the 35, and he'll rumble forward for a first down to move the chains.
One of my favorite plays that the Tigers run all season. We were talking up here well before the game today about I was giving Dakota a hard time for missing Benji a few times this year being so tall. He got that one on target, and it looked like Benji turned around looking for somebody to hit. Like he caught the ball, and he was so open, he just was looking for an ugly jersey to hit.
Well, he comes up with a big gainer there down to the 32-yard line, and that'll move the chains for Chapmanville here on the opening play of the second quarter. They send Atkins in motion. They'll hand it off to him. He cuts inside. Atkins found a little crease and able to turn it into about 6 yards on the play.
I just love how the Chapmanville offense is mixing things up. We're seeing tiny different wrinkles that they haven't shown all season with its different pulls, if it's different action in the backfield. You know, Coach Barker does a great job, the OC for Chapmanville does a great job mixing things up. And like we talked about, you have to keep changing things on as far as the season goes along. You're 8 games, now 9 games deep in the season. Got to change some things sometimes.
So they go with a quick little lob pass into the middle on that one. Dangerous that time as Mingo's defensive line got their hands on it, and it'll be 3rd down and 5. But, yeah, you know Coach David Jones and his coaching staff were preparing hard for what Chapmanville likes to do. So if you're Coach Belcher and your staff, you knew you had to change some things up tonight and give some different looks.
Oh, yeah, because it's a definite battle of coaches there. When you look across the field and you see the coaching staff there for Mingo with Coach Jones and company, you know you got to bring your A game, and we're seeing that from both teams right now.
That'll be 3rd down and 5 for Chapmanville from the 27-yard line as Dalton gives it off, coming left side, inside the 20, goes Bender, and he's slung out of bounds. And another first down for Chapmanville as they give it off to the freshman, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers again.
Now, even with Easton Bender there in the backfield, they still run the same look. Little handoff off tackle there. They like what they're getting from that. Big conversion there by the Tigers, because if you don't get it there, you're looking at a very pressure-packed 4th down, and they're firmly in the red zone with a new set of downs, and that's where you don't want to be as a defensive team on the field with the Tigers with 1st and 10 in the red zone.
Chapmanville knocking on the door yet again here. At the 15-yard line, they'll give it off to Collins in the middle, spins away from a would-be tackler. Actually, it's kept by Dalton, completely fooled me to the outside, and Dalton has another first down. Wow, what a fake by Dalton. He faked me completely out.
Hey, it faked me as well, Chris, because I was getting ready to say the same thing as you. What a spin move, and I look, and Dakota Dalton's looking for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the first half.
Well, they've been able to use that just twice now, and both times it's broke free for some big gains. And with 10:20 to go in the second quarter, Chapmanville looking to take a 2-touchdown lead.
Such a high percentage of calls tonight with that give off tackle or the pull by Dakota.
They'll give it off this time to Collins, rumbles forward, dives for it, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chapmanville.
He's been making those plays all year. We've seen it from 20 to 30 yards out. Most of the time, Chapmanville, when they have a full roster, you see Kovac there in short yardage. Collins shows he's just not a showtime player. Yeah. He can get down and dirty and get the score.
Now 13-0 in favor of Chapmanville as Farrell on for the extra point to try and make it a 2-touchdown lead here early in the second quarter. And instead, we're going to get a flag thrown on the play. And that'll give us a moment to thank our first half sponsor, Smell My Tarts. Again, owner Brookie Craddock, your nose will thank you. Visit smellmytarts.com. Locally owned, hand-poured, and the best long-lasting scents around. Shop now at smellmytarts.com.
You know, Chris, I'm such a sucker for awesome marketing and advertising.
That
is just brilliant. That's an amazing name, and just big props for that.
I tell you, people have been smelling my tarts for years now, and you know what? I think these smell better than my tarts.
Here's the difference. Nobody's paying you for yours.
That is very true.
You can't give them away.
The extra point up by Farrell, and it is good. So it is a 14-0 lead for Chapmanville here in the second quarter. We'll be back after this as you're watching high school football action right here on the D&D Sports Network.
The big win? Awesome. The smell? Not so much. That's why I use Smell My Tarts. Handmade wax melts, car diffusers, and room sprays that make everything fresh again. Because life's messy, but your home doesn't have to smell like it. Shop now at smellmytarts.com.
Smokey Armstrong here from United Motorsports of Belfry. Looking for your next adventure? We've got the motorcycles, side-by-sides, and ATVs needed to take your riding to the next level. Whether you're hitting the track, enjoying the trails, exploring the open road, or seeking comfort and style, we've got you covered with trusted brands like Honda, Polaris, and Kawasaki. At United Motorsports, we're not just about selling power sports, we're passionate about helping you find the perfect ride. Our team will work with you to customize your vehicle, offer expert advice, and provide top-notch service. No matter where your adventure takes you, ready to get started? Call us at 606-237-7311 or visit www.unitedmotorsportsbelfry.com or stop by today. Your next ride is waiting.
$14-0 Chapmanville as we come back. Chris Kidd, Dwayne Williams here with J.J. Pruder Engineers. McClanahan blast one over the head of the return men that's going to get all the way into the end zone, and that'll bring it out to the 20 here for Chapmanville. It's a touchdown run by Dakota Dalton, a touchdown run by Jeremy Collins. And, we want to thank everybody in the comments hanging with us tonight. We knew we were going to get some comments like this. Apparently, Dwayne, you and I are rooting for Mingo Central tonight, according to one guy that was online. But you know what? I don't know.
That guy can just smell our tarts, Chris. I mean, we're trying our best here. We're giving props to both teams, so he can tart it up.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, folks, we're just here to enjoy the game. I said, we do not care who wins this game. I said, we're just looking for a good game. As they hand it off on first down off to the left side. Not a lot there for Coleman as he's brought down for maybe a brief loss on the play. It may be second and about 10.5 here.
Obviously the biggest drive for Mingo in this game, being down 2 scores to a prolific offense. They got to make something happen on this and at the very least not give Chapmanville such a short field this time.
Yeah, this drive right here, crucial for the Miners. Again, they do get the ball to start the third quarter, but they really need to try and put something together just to try and slow down Chapmanville at the moment. As a quick throw to the outside completed and dancing around and out of bounds finally after a brief gain.
Very nice read there by Knuckles. You see, I saw a large cushion there by the cornerback from Chapmanville, and just a very, very simple pass play for a quarterback of his caliber. Nice recognition of that. Brings up third and medium.
Trying to see who it was that made the catch. Looked like number 9. I don't see it on the roster sheet that we have. So we'll try and find that, or if we have someone out there that can help us out, that'd be great too, as they go right back to it here on third down. Big completion, and down the sideline they go, as that'll be caught by Joplin, it appears. And Joplin will have enough for a first down.
Essentially the same look against tighter coverage, but just a great route ran, a great throw, first down for the Miners.
So it may have been Joplin actually on that last catch as well. Again, the 3 and the 9 look maybe a little bit more similar as it's all the way across the football field from us. But now it'll be first and 10 from the 37-yard line. 3 receivers lined up to the near side, 1 up top. He's back to throw his Knuckles again, looking deep down the far side for Joplin. Had a step, but couldn't come up with it as a little too far out of his reach as Evan Witt had good coverage on the play as well.
Fantastic coverage there by Evan Witt. We've seen him make plays all year, whether it's been big hits, pass deflections, close coverage there. The ball wasn't too far out of reach for the receiver, but I just do think the defense there got a little bit, in front of him off the line, and just a great challenge play there by 19 Evan Witt.
Yeah, because I think these corners on both sides know that they're going to be on an island a lot tonight, and they've got to win the one-on-one matchups that they've got.
Yeah.
If not, any of these receivers can burn them for a touchdown in a heartbeat as Knuckles now looks to turn it upfield, and he's met by about 5 or 6 Tigers at about the 37-yard line, where it's going to get just beyond the original line of scrimmage. They maybe give him the 38. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Josh Porter chasing down from behind, and it come to an end there when he's chasing from behind, and the running back hits the rest of the Tigers defense. Just a great team defensive play there by the Tigers.
Again, Mingo's had their difficulties so far moving the ball. Again, they had a pretty solid second possession, but they've got to find a way to try and keep this Chapmanville offense off the field. Again, Chapmanville's moved on them all 3 possessions, scored twice thus far. Back to throw his Knuckles, fakes a pass, now looking deep, sets up, looking to run, now will throw deep, overthrows his man and intercepted, no, dropped. Right about the 30-yard line as Wesley Watts got his hands on it. And incomplete, and we've got a flag down back at the 40, right about where Knuckles unloaded that ball.
He made a great break on the ball, just could not secure it when he went to the ground. Let's check out the flag.
There's an eligible man downfield, and not surprising there. It looked like Knuckles might take off and run. A lineman decided to take off and block downfield. So Chapmanville will decline that penalty and make it 4th down.
You can't fault those guys for making a play.
Yeah.
Knuckles is scrambling around in the pocket. He gets outside the pocket. He's keeping his eyes down at the last minute. He decides to throw. Lineman's already down the field. Just 2 guys trying to make a play.
So now they'll have to punt it away for the 2nd time here tonight. And you've got to watch out now under pressure. A lot of problems in the backfield, and this is going to be blocked and stopped back inside the 30. A disastrous play for Mingo and a huge play for Chapmanville.
What a play by the special teams there for Chapmanville. Looks like number 20, Keegan Craddock, comes up with the ball. David Browning, Jackson Topping already in there as well. What a disaster for Mingo. What a plus play for the Tigers, and another short field for one of the best offenses in the state.
Dave Williamson, one of the assistant coaches from Chapmanville, pumping his fist and slapping helmets down on the sidelines as he's pumped after that play. And now it'll be 1st and 10 for Chapmanville from the Mingo 31-yard line. 8:19 to go here in the first half. Chapmanville leads at 14-0. Again, Chapmanville number 9 in AAA. Mingo Central number 5 in AA. Again, if Mingo could pull off this win, it would guarantee probably a couple of home playoff games. A little throw over the middle, finds Benji Atkins again, and Atkins rumbles down to about the 20 for a gain of 11.
Carbon copy the play we saw in the first quarter. Little drop over the top, little dart action there for the tight end. Chapmanville's, they're explosive, they're scoring, but they're keeping it very simple. You're using a variation of only a few different plays, whether it's the give or the pull by Dakota, and that little over-the-top pass to the tight end. They've used that so far. They're not opening up the entire playbook and still dominating.
1st and 10. Dalton will keep it this time. Doesn't fool me on this one as he'll drive down for about a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and about 9 now for Chapmanville.
Only about 5 minors there that Dalton drug for about a yard, so good gang tackling there.
Yeah, and, we mentioned Mingo's scenarios here again. Like we said, they get a win. They probably jump up, maybe host a 1st round, maybe even 2nd round. Chapmanville, they win this one. I think that definitely guarantees they'll host a home playoff game. I think they jump up into that top 8.
Yeah, you look at the format, you look at the rankings. It's kind of hard to keep up with, but it'd be hard to deny them this with a big win here. Excuse me.
They give it off to Collins, and Collins squirts his way down to about the 15-yard line. It'll be a pickup of close to 5 and make it about 3rd and 5 here for Chapmanville.
This is the time you see it all the time. We talk about momentum a lot. What the Miners need at this point, when you're this deep in the red zone as a defense, you need a turnover. You need something fluky to happen. You need to be a little bit lucky because Chapmanville gets a 3-score lead. It's tough to even think about coming back.
Now Chapmanville lines it up on 3rd down. They give the handoff off. It's going to be a halfback toss and caught in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Chapmanville. They find Austin Atkins for the score, and the Tigers pull off the trick play and lead it 20-0.
What a night for Austin Atkins.
Yeah.
A touchdown catch there. I think that was the freshman Easton Bender with the throw, if I'm not mistaken. And that's, those kids are cousins. They've grown up playing football together. What a special moment for them. Great play call by the Tigers.
Wow, and that was a heck of a throw and catch. Again, Atkins did not have a lot of room over there to try and get his feet down. and showed off his athleticism. He had no touchdowns up until last week, Dwayne. Last week was his first touchdown of the season. He's already got 2 tonight as Farrell blasts through the extra point, and who would have thunk this? 21-0. Chapmanville leads it with 6:35 to play in the first half. We'll be back after this as you're watching high school football right here on the D&D Sports Network.
Looking for a new healthcare provider? Come see us at Tug Valley Wellness Clinic. We take all patients from the ages 2 and up. Our staff has over 30 years of medical experience. We do everything from DOT physicals, wellness exams, adult and child, walk-in visits, and more. Call us today at 304-236-3601 and reach us Monday through Friday.
I'm Devin Maynard. I'm number 11.
I'm Keziah Joppa, number 3.
My name is Dakota Dalton, number 15.
I am Rob Boyle, number 70.
I'm Bryson Eli, number 28.
I'm Bam Coleman, number 20.
My name is Preston Kovac, number 22.
I am Lucas Lambert, number 10.
My name's Cameron Sloan, number 1.
I'm Bones Lafferty, number 28. You can catch me every Friday night on D&D Sports.
Chapmanville has scored on 3 straight possessions, and they take a 21-0 lead here in the second quarter. Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you. J.J. Pruitt, our engineer, is trying to get outside and wide, but Chapmanville able to run him down, and a flag comes in on the back end of it as Aiden Hatfield just could not get to the corner as Chapmanville walled it off.
What a hustle play by 25 Cooper Perry there, covering some ground coming across the field. I think he went through a blocker just to get to the ball carrier there. Had some help with some other Tigers, but that 25 just caught my eye there when he went across the field. Great hustle play.
So they're going to wipe out the penalty flag now and say no flag on the play.
But you just got to hate when they pick up the flags. Like, if you know, why are you picking it up? Well,
yeah, like you saw something.
Come on.
That or it just fell out.
I don't know. The way they've been launching them, I don't know how they could just simply fall out the way they're launching them like they're in the Olympics.
It's like the javelin throw out here trying to see if they can hit somebody with it. As they'll pitch it coming near side here on first down, trying to navigate upfield and up to about the 29-yard line on that carry. As that was Terendez Bryant getting the handoff or getting the shovel pass to him.
Nice tackle by Wesley Watts coming up and making a great tackle. Just before that, Benji Aggins doing his best Reggie White impression by pushing the blocker back beyond the ball carrier, and great hustle play by Wesley Watts to finish the play.
2nd and 7. Knuckles will keep it himself this time, calls his own number over to the left side and wrestles forward for about 3 yards. And again, Mingo, they've not run into a defense quite like this year, again, where just getting yardage is painful, and Chapmanville's making every inch of it tough right now on the Miners.
Yeah, and that play was really sums up their defense and what you have to do. That was very, very tough ran yards by your quarterback. You get through that tough line, and then a linebacker, Austin Killen, finishes you off. So very tough yards there.
Now here's a pivotal 3rd and 4. Again, every time we've said it, but it becomes truer and truer on each possession. Mingo really needs a first down right here to try and stymie some of this momentum, because this Chapmanville offense is like a boulder rolling down the hill right now. And it looks like they want to talk it over here with 5:07 to go in the first half. We'll step aside with them and be back after this as you're watching high school football action right here on the D&D Sports Network.
The big win? Awesome. The smell? Not so much. That's why I use Smell My Tarts. Handmade wax melts, car diffusers, and room sprays that make everything fresh again. Because life's messy, but your home doesn't have to smell like it. Shop now at smellmytarts.com.
If you got a big job to get done, don't just trust any flagging service. Call Diamond Flagging Service. Diamond Flagging Service keeps your community safe while also making sure it stays moving. Give Diamond Flagging Service a call today for their services. They also offer amazing job opportunities. Diamond Flagging Services, proud supporter of the Mountain Athletes.
Welcome back, everybody. 3rd down and 4 for Mingo Central. trailing at 21-0 as Knuckles, nice little flare out this time, completes it to Coleman, but a flag down back at the 30-yard line. It's a great play there by Mingo to get the first down, but will it hold up?
Great play call at the timeout. When you have to burn a timeout, you always want to come back out with something meaningful, and unfortunately it's not going to stand.
And that's the second big play tonight for Mingo. It's been wiped out because of a penalty.
You never want to see a penalty coming out of a timeout. You have to spend it. You have to burn one. You come out. Obviously the right call, but formation was wrong. You know, you've got to have those little – you have to dot your I's, cross your T's, get ready before that ball snapped. Maybe too much excitement there, but very unfortunate for the Miners because it was a fantastic play call.
And, again, games like this that are so monumental, so big on both sides, even though they won't play each other in the playoffs, it's still tough to try and get all your emotions under you like you normally would in games like this. But every little mistake gets magnified in these type of situations. So now 3rd and 9. Knuckles will roll near side, has some time, fires, but incomplete as it goes through his intended man's hands trying to find Jacob Maynard.
And you see the Knuckles there, a sign of a great leader. He goes up and he pats up his receiver. That was an extremely difficult pass to catch. He was very close to him. I thought by the arm angle he was going to the deeper receiver, so maybe the receiver thought the same, but a great example of leadership there by him going directly to his receiver and patting him up and say, my bad, I got you.
Yeah, and I think you just kind of see that, games speeding up on Knuckles a little bit right now. Again, his receivers aren't getting the same type of separation they normally get, and they're not getting the same type of time that they normally would as they kick it off, and it comes down to Atkins. He's had a big night so far, and he gets it down to about the 40-yard line, and once again, Chapmanville starts out in great field position.
When you give this Chapmanville, we talked in previous games, no matter if they start on their own 10, they can score in a couple of plays. But starting their drive on the Mingo County 40-yard line is just a death sentence. I don't care what defense you have. You never want to give even a mediocre offense this chance, much less a prolific offense like the Tigers.
Yeah, and I will say, again, this Chapmanville team, they've been hearing it from around the state. They haven't played anybody. Your opponents have been weak. You haven't had to go up against a real opponent. They've been reading and hearing that all week long, and I think they really wanted to send a message tonight, and so far that accomplishment's been made as Collins gets forward for about 8 yards, but he looks like he's holding his wrist or hand as he gets up.
And that's something we definitely don't want to see. We won't see any players hit, but I think he had a wrist injury last year. I think that's what kept him out, so the Tigers definitely don't want to see that, and hopefully it's just something very, very minor at the moment.
Yeah, because you've already lost Kovac, and again, you have no idea what his timetable may be for the rest of the season, but Collins looked like maybe dislocated a finger at first as Dalton flares it out quickly, completes it to Ward. Ward breaks out of a tackle, breaks out of another. Here he goes, sprinter speed into the end zone, and Trey Ward, the 100-meter dash champion in the state of West Virginia, gets the touchdown, and it's a 4-touchdown lead for Chapmanville.
He shows it every single game. Usually it's a deep ball. There he breaks a few tackles. A quick pass by Dalton gets it out to him. He makes a couple moves, breaks tackles, and Chapmanville just pouring it on.
And again, this has been a shellacking thus far here in the first half. None that I think anybody truly expected coming in here this evening. Now Farrell for the extra point. No, they'll fake it. They'll run the reverse. Quick throw to the far side, and that is complete. 2-point conversion is good as pass is thrown by Cooper Perry on the play, and the Tigers complete it.
One of the super sophomores for this team, Cooper Perry, made a big play on the special teams, and the trickeration from Coach Barker with the call there. Nice ball. That was perfect placement, great catch. Great play call, perfect timing.
And I think that was Jackson Ellison that made the catch on the play for Chapmanville, and it is now 29-0 in favor of the Tigers. Well, let's take a moment here before kickoff, and let's go through our sponsors again here, helping us bring you the action tonight. Rebound Physical Therapy, Smell My Tarts, Perry Pond, Blessings and Blooms, Salmon Supply, Styles Unlimited, White Eye Care, Logan Regional Medical Center, Hill Chiropractic, PT12 Pizzeria, Stereo Video Unlimited, Trend Services, Domino Printing, LB&T Banking, and Runyon Insurance. I want to thank all of those, especially our first half sponsor. Who is it again, Dwayne?
Smell my tarts.
Smell my tarts, baby. Smell my tarts.
Hey, you go to college for 4 years to get a marketing degree. You set in pointless training, how to come up with things, and Brookie just kills it with "Smell My Tarts." I mean,
that is incredible.
Look at the features she's getting from the marketing genius. I mean,
I was going to say, Brookie, we've got an awesome commercial that we could end up doing at all this. I'm just saying.
If I'm quiet during the podcast, I'm already writing the treatment for the commercial. We'll get it going.
Brookie's like, Lord, no, get those guys away from my business. As return comes out just across the 20 to about the 22-yard line, and with 3:58 left in this half, Dwayne, Mingo Central desperately needs something positive trying to go into halftime.
Yeah, they've been behind the 8 ball the entire game. They started off really strong with that 4th down stand. They've shot themselves in the foot with some penalties, but you almost have to play a perfect game on defense to keep this offense in check. So every minute that passes by is more dire for them, but thankfully they do have a capable quarterback and some athletes that gives them some hope. Some teams don't have that quarterback. They do.
Hand it off to Coleman here on 1st down. Doesn't get much, but maybe gets a yard on the play. But I do like that patience right there running the ball. Again, right now you're not going to get 28 points magically on one play. You've got to take it one play at a time, as cliche as it is, but you've got to find a way to get downfield and get that first score first.
Yeah, and that's just a sign of an experienced coaching staff. Coach Jones, he's played at a high level, UK, Baltimore Ravens. He knows this game, so he's not going to panic and say, hey, we got to throw a Hail Mary. This is not playing Madden with your buddies and just throw a Hail Mary every time. You've got to keep it realistic. And I like to see this leadership group from Mingo. They're constantly clapping each other up.
So give it on the pitch, rushing far side, a little bit of a lane there across the 35. Rugby pile still moving forward as it gets out close to the 40-yard line. Good strong run that time by Trendez Bryant, and he'll have it close to a 1st down.
Yeah, on that far side of that rugby scrum, I could not get any numbers from the defense, but we know a lot of them was there. But to show this fight from the Miners team, a scrum happens, they keep pumping every yard counts. They're pumping their legs, or they're tush-push on the sidelines. They're trying to get every yard they can get.
And that's the thing. Mingo Central knows they've got the firepower to get back into this game if they can just get going here at first. Quick throw to the far side to Joplin. Did he hang on? No, it was dislodged on the play, as I believe that may have been Witt, and it was. Wow, what a strong play by Evan Witt to knock that ball away.
Second big play by Witt tonight, and that's been their go-to play. He recognized it, made a play on the ball.
And again, Evan Witt's such a big physical corner as well.
Yeah, he can also play some wide receiver. He's got the body and the frame for it. He's just a great team player. It always shows up for this Tiger team.
Well, now Mingo knows they've got to roll the dice, and they will on 4th and 2, as Knuckles will keep it. Brought down near the 1st down. I don't think he got there, though, Dwayne.
Look short.
He didn't.
Look short, Chris.
Wow. And you know what? You can't fault Coach Jones and Mingo right there. They had to try and feel like they had to make something happen. And again, Chapmanville's defense just up to the task.
Yeah, their hands are tied. They have no choice. It doesn't matter if Chapmanville's getting the ball on the 30 or Mingo's 30. They got to make something happen. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for the Miners.
Yeah, so again, I think that was the right call right there to go for it. But now Chapmanville gets it for a 3rd straight time on Mingo's side of the 50. And a chance to take a 5-score lead. They already lead at 29-0. In the shotgun is Dalton. He'll drop, looks to throw under pressure, steps up, trying to get away, and he's going to get brought down right around the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a little bit of forward progress on that, but not much.
Great play by the defense. Dalton was looking deep for the end zone. He realizes that, tries to go up the middle, but great secondary effort by the Miners defense to stop for a minimal gain.
Again, if you're Mingo's defense, you had that strong 4th down stop on the opening possession of the game. Chapmanville scored on their last 4 possessions, but just getting a stop right here, too, could be huge for this Mingo Central defense to try and find some momentum. As Dalton got rid of his little hand warmers as he slings it out near side to Bender. Bender fakes one way, goes back to the left. And nice pursuit by Mingo as they hold that to about a 6-yard gain. And Bender, good movement by him there to shake loose for a little bit of a gain.
Nice quick wide receiver screen there. Dalton got the ball out quick and accurately, and Bender made something happen. Bender's become more and more involved as the season's progressed. We saw in the first game of the season he got 1 or 2 carries on the jet sweep motion. Now we've seen him used in multiple formations and plays. So the future's bright for that freshman.
It's going to be 3rd down and 5 here for Chapmanville from the 26-yard line. They're just outside of field goal range right now as Dalton fakes the pitch, keeps it himself. What a fake by Dalton. Here he goes, and he's into the end zone again. Touchdown, Chapmanville. Wow, what a play design and what a fake and what blocking on the left side of that line to open up the Red Sea for Dalton as he scampers in again.
What a play call, what execution. He sold that perfectly. He sold that toss, and that's very, very hard to do. It's not a simple play action. And like you said, from the center to the left, that offensive line just mauls people, and they've shown all year. I would love to see the breakdown of percentages, how many times they run to the left side and how many times it's actually successful. Very
I agree.
High.
And like I said, Dalton, he's just become more and more confident as the season's gone along here for Chapmanville, doing it with his arm and his legs here tonight as the extra point up and through. And it's a 36-0 lead for the Chapmanville Tigers over the Mingo Central Miners here in this battle of unbeatens. We'll be back after this as you're watching high school football action with us right here on the D&D Sports Network.
Here at Logan Bank and Trust, we are committed to serving the needs of the Southern Coalfields.
For any of your financial needs, we encourage you to stop by one of our 5 convenient locations or apply online today at lbnt.com.
Whether you choose to stop by or visit us online, our team is here to help you every step of the way.
Buying a new home, expanding your business? Choose Logan Bank and Trust. Let's bank together.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
$36-0. Chapmanville leads it with 1 minute to play here in this first half. Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you, with J.J. Pruitt, our engineer, as McClanahan kicks it. Goes off a couple of Miners and then fielded right there at the 36 as that avoided more disaster as Joplin able to get on top of it. But it has just been all Tigers here in the first half.
Absolutely, Chris. And shout out to Jason Maynard. I said very quickly on the broadcast that, you know, he played for Chapmanville. He's coached here, coached middle school. I was fortunate enough to coach with him at the middle school level, and he immediately said minimum of 40. And and I looked at him. I said, "You okay, man?" And we're looking at 36-0 in the first half.
Yeah, I would not have bought that. I mean, maybe both sides scoring close to 40, I would have thought about. But yeah, I mean, for it to be 36-0 at half, this would have been one of the last things I would have predicted here this evening. Yeah, but Chapmanville's just come out with their hair on fire, and they haven't let up all evening long. As Knuckles, quick throw to the outside, completes it, trying to get upfield to about the 40 and grabbed and suplex backwards.
Great play by Benji Atkins there, chasing down once again. He has been everywhere on defense tonight. He's battled through blockers. He's chased people down and looked a little bit like a slam there at the end to finish it off.
Again, Mingo only has one timeout remaining in their back pocket here, so they can't really stop the clock. But one more time as they're going to let clock run here, closing in on 30 seconds. Knuckles will go from the shotgun, looks into the backfield, fires, completes it. Joplin, he's going to throw it. Has a man open downfield. It is caught inside the 25-yard line. What a hookup. And now a chance for the first time tonight for the Miners to take a score into halftime.
What a play call. You have to have it. What else you got to lose being down 36? Fantastic play call by the Miners. And Chapmanville's very fortunate to get another 15 tacked on because the receiver took a shot to the head there, looked like to me, Chris.
Yeah, Terendez Bryant, great job by him hanging on to that. And a great throw by Joplin. And now Mingo will use one of those that one timeout they had left. Here with 20.4 seconds to go. And we did see some good news for Chapmanville. Preston Kovac is back into the game now, Dwayne. Again, it'll probably be in a limited situation, again, because you got to be scared with that leg injury that he's got, but he is back in right now.
Yeah, he was back in on the previous play, and, being up, interesting call there, being up 36-0. I know it's a big play there, but he's your bell cow for the offense on the ground. You just want to hope nothing else happens there, and you got to just, maybe they're trying to keep him loose, maybe they have their own reasons, but it's a very, very risky play there and having him on the field.
And you do have Jeremy Collins back on the field as well for Chapmanville after just by his reaction, it looked like he may have had a chance at dislocating a finger there. Got it popped back into place. But it'll be 1st and 10 for Mingo at the 23-yard line of Chapmanville, but they have no timeouts remaining. So whatever they do here, they've got to get to the sideline or get the first down. If this is in the field of play, it's going to be trouble. As Knuckles drops to throw, now steps up, fires high and incomplete. And that's caused by that pressure that was closing in on him off the sides there.
Yeah, that pressure by Josh Porter was very close to having a sack. Borderline could have been a holding call there. It looked like he was pulled from behind. But fortunately for the Miners, it does go incomplete and the clock stops. If you get a catch in the middle of the field right now, that's probably going to be your last play of the half.
Yeah, that only lost 5 seconds off the clock, but it does put Mingo in a situation where they maybe got 2, at most 3 plays left here. He's back to throw his Knuckles, looks for it all over the middle and intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Chapmanville. Coming back the other way is Trey Ward. Look out. He gets to the corner. He outruns Knuckles.
They're not catching him.
And he
is
gone.
What a play by Trey Ward. That's the last person you want to see going up the sideline if you're a Miner fan. And you can just see we have a great view of that. There's a reason that guy wins track meet after track meet, state champion. What a difference maker, and just a dire gut punch for the Miners, the last thing they wanted to happen.
Oh, I was like you, Dwayne. As soon as you saw him accelerate at about the 5-yard line, you knew it could be trouble. And now you're going to get an unsportsmanlike penalty against Chapmanville. I'd say they care little at all that they get that penalty called on them.
If you can't celebrate as a high school player after a play like that, when can you celebrate, Chris?
Yeah.
If that's what the call is. I didn't see it, but I assume that's what it was.
Yeah, so that'll be after the play, so the touchdown is good. But that happens with all zeros on the clock, so that actually a fitting way to end this first half after the way things have gone here. Again, you had 2 8-0 teams going at it here tonight, both fighting for Southern West Virginia supremacy, and so far AAA Chapmanville has just routed AA Mingo Central.
That play is a microcosm of the Chapmanville team this year.
Absolutely, and now it'll be a 25-yard extra point attempt for Farrell. He's got plenty of leg, and he'll blast it through, and it is a 43-0 halftime lead for the Chapmanville Tigers. As we want to thank our sponsors, Rebound Physical Therapy, Smell My Tarts, our first half sponsor, Perry Brothers Pawn Shop, Blessings and Blooms, Salmon Supply, Styles Unlimited, Wide Eye Care, Logan Regional Medical Center, Hill Chiropractic, PT12 Pizzeria, Stereo Video Unlimited, Trend Services, Logan Regional Medical Center, Domino Printing, LB&T Banking, Runyon Insurance, and our halftime sponsor tonight, Off the Beaten Trails Quick Stop. Bringing you our halftime here tonight with Chapmanville dominating Mingo 43-0. We'll step aside for a break and be back after this as you're watching high school football action here on the D&D Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody, here to Chapmanville, West Virginia. At halftime, it is the Tigers leading the Miners 43-0. Chris Kidd, Dwayne Williams with you, with J.J. Pruitt, our engineer. And after Chapmanville was stopped on their opening possession of the game on 4th and 1 at the Mingo 22-yard line, it has been all Chapmanville ever since then, shutting out this high-powered Mingo Central offense in the first half and scoring on their last 6 possessions, including the pick 6, to end the half from 99 yards away by Trey Ward as time expired. And now we're going to have a running clock in the second half, Dwayne. I don't know of how many people out there would have picked this to be the case for this game, in a game that so many people thought was going to be tight all the way around.
Right, Chris. We've seen the running clock multiple times this season with the Tigers, but we didn't expect it with a team that comes in averaging 36.6 points a game being shut out in the first half, and this is the quickest running clock we've had this season. Not very many people expect that at all.
And again, we appreciate you being with us here on the Quick Stop Off the Beaten Trails halftime report here tonight. That's the Chapmanville band just finishing up down on the field here on this Halloween evening as well. And, well, if you're Mingo, it's been all tricks so far, no treat, as both times they got downfield, there wasn't a whole lot that they were able to get accomplished, as they had interceptions, turnovers on downs, and now they come out here in the second half, and this is going to be a tough half for Mingo Central because, you know the game's very likely out of reach right now unless just catastrophic event happens and Chapmanville doesn't come out of the locker room. But if you're Coach Jones and the rest of the Miners, I mean, it had to be a deflated locker room. What are you looking for here in the second half?
At this point, you have to look at anything, any form of positivity. I'm sure that was part of the message. The game's out of hand. Let's see if we can play. It sounds like you mentioned cliches earlier, and this does sound very cliche, but let's try to play like this game is 0-0, because you don't want to just throw away your habits. You don't want to throw away or look down on the season. You come in this game 8-0. You have something great to stand on. So don't let a one game that you're getting dominated affect you the second half and the remainder of this season. So they got to find something positive. They got to find some momentum to take with them to finish the rest of this regular season.
Right now it's 43-0 here at the half between Chapmanville and Mingo. We're going to step aside and be right back after this for the start of the third quarter, as you are watching high school football action with us right here on the D&D Sports Network. Back here in Chapmanville, West Virginia, Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you. J.J. Pruitt, our engineer. As our first half stats, let's take a look at those while we have a moment. Again, for Mingo Central, Knuckles was 9 of 17 for 65 yards and 2 interceptions. Joplin had 1 pass for 37 yards on that halfback toss. Knuckles had 4 carries for 7 yards. Coleman 3 rushes for 9 yards. Receptions, Sarton had 1 catch for 2 yards. Donovan had 1 catch for 9 yards. Maynard 1 for 15 yards. Joplin 3 catches for 24 yards. And Trendez Bryant with 4 catches for 52 yards. This is the surprising one, I think, Dwayne. 3 first downs in the first half for Mingo Central. Only 16 rushing yards, had 102 passing yards, but only 118 total yards in the game for this Minor offense that has been so high-powered all year.
Yeah, that is a bit shocking when you look at the detailed stats like that. And big shout-out to Grayson Sanders, our statistician. And you've got a team that averages 36 points. I keep mentioning that because you look up and the scoreboard still says 0 and 3 first downs. I know they're missing their major playmaker. But you still got to give props to Chapmanville defense. You know, they have covered. They come in ready to go. They've scouted. They've watched film, and they continue their dominance. And that's what you want when you finish up games that you're supposed to win, and they have one more regular season game left. If they can finish that, that's all you could ask from this group and this coaching staff, to have that momentum going into the playoffs. Last year they got hot late, had some momentum going in. This year they've been hot from the opening kickoff to now.
And the balance for Chapmanville on the other side is very, very well done. 8 first downs. They got 260 total yards, 132 rushing yards, 128 passing yards. It doesn't get much more balanced than that in the first half.
No, we've described them as balanced and deep the entire year, and that's a perfect example of how they play and how they scheme.
And now the clock begins to wind. Again, if it's a 42-point lead or more going into the third quarter, it's a running clock. 35 or more going into the fourth quarter, as Bryant will get the return. He'll take it to the outside and brought down about the 26-yard line. So Mingo will start there. And you look at the rest of Chapmanville's stats. Dakota Dalton was 7 of 11 for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bender was 1 of 1 for 15 yards and a touchdown pass. Jeremy Collins had 11 carries for 58 yards and a touchdown. Dalton has 4 carries for 56 yards and 2 touchdowns. Adkins and Bender each with 1 carry. Adkins for 5 yards, Bender for 13. Trey Ward with 4 catches for 72 yards, including that 98-yard pick 6. Benji Atkins has 2 catches for 22 yards. Atkins 2 catches for 23 yards and a touchdown. And Bender 1 catch for 5 yards is on first down. Out to the outside goes Coleman on the rush, and he'll get a good gainer out across the 35 for a first down.
Nice little swing pass again there by the Miners. Great hustle by Jackson Topping. He owns these lines on both sides of the ball, but he ran down the field, 5 and 6 yards, got a hand on him, and eventually got some help and knocked him out of bounds.
So now it'll be first and 10 at the 40-yard line. And as we said, the clock will continue to wind unless there's an injury or anything of that sort. The officials asked for it to stop as Knuckles fires too tall is what I meant to say, for Bryant. As that is incomplete. You see Preston Kovac there to help on the coverage.
Yeah, we see him immediately right there, back on the field here. He must be feeling good to go. The coaches are confident he was right there in coverage, which probably forced that ball a little bit high. Wouldn't have been much after that if he made the catch. So Mingo's looking a second and long, which they've been in, seems like, the entire game.
Yeah, they have played behind the sticks or right at the sticks most of the half. Now on second and 10, deep throw down the sideline, almost intercepted again and incomplete as Atkins got his hands on it, but a flag comes in as well.
I'm not sure about the flag, but that's one place you don't want to throw. That was a very misguided throw. You have tight coverage by Evan Witt, and we've talked about Austin Atkins playing center fielder back there, and almost another pick by him.
Yeah, and that's why we said there's so many quick players on both sides, because they're going to call pass interference on Chapmanville. But, again, trying to throw into these windows for both quarterbacks was going to be tough tonight. And you saw the adjustment Chapmanville made. A lot of shorter throws, a lot of quick hitters tonight. And Mingo, they've continued to try and push the ball down the field, but with Ward and Atkins and Witt and everybody out in the secondary, it just makes it so much tougher.
And it makes it even tougher when you're in an obvious passing situation. These guys on the very dominating defensive line can pin their ears back and go. You've got Austin Atkins back here playing, center field. You've got Jackson Topping in the center of that line, and it's tough when they know you're going to pass.
Now Knuckles will drop the throw, has time, fires downfield, dangerous, and Watts almost had that one. As that's the second ball he's almost picked off here tonight. And again, he's another one in that secondary that's a playmaker for this Chapmanville defense.
He's been very consistent this season, and that's a second one. That was a tough little catch, but, he's made the play on the ball. I'm a half-full type of guy. When I see that play, I don't want to look at that drop. He was there enough to give himself a chance, but I'm sure he is frustrated because he could have 2 interceptions practically easy this game.
Again, we want to thank our second half sponsor, Styles Unlimited, helping us bring you the action here tonight. Again, that's where I go to get all my hair care products, Dwayne. That's why you got to keep these locks long and flowing.
Well, you have your personal tanning venture, you have your tarts, and you have your haircut, man. I mean, that's just well-rounded. I have to compliment you on that.
I'm just looking to see where I can score some free stuff out there. These are great businesses. I'd love to have anything free. I'm joking. Again, there's a reason you're a business. It's not to just give things away. But those are great businesses.
And it's great because I'm looking at these comments, on our live and try to look at that. And I see so many people thanking us for bringing this action to them on these cold nights and you can't make it or if you're out of town. But we couldn't do it without our sponsors. So it's always good to hear about them. We make light of it, but we truly appreciate them.
Absolutely. Again, I know we've got some dads and moms out there trick-or-treating right now watching with us as well, as there's a huge hit on the outside delivered by Austin Killen, as he dislodges that ball from Coleman, and it'll be 4th and 10 now.
Austin Killen says, I'm sick and tired of this halfback swing pass or this fly route. He goes, I'm getting up there and breaking that up. Perfectly timed hit, textbook hit. And it's good to see Chapmanville staying so disciplined when you have a lead like this. A lot of times teams will take chances and stuff. They love these shutouts. They want to hold on to this. And perfect example there. Austin played that perfect. Great hit to finish the play.
And we've mentioned it in about every game. This Chapmanville defense doesn't get the same headlines that the offense gets, but wow, are they so impressive week in and week out. As a quick little swing pass, nice little gap here, trying to work upfield, and that might be enough for the first down as Joplin. What a tough run by him, able to slash and navigate his way through the defense, and that will be enough to keep the ball here for Mingo.
Joplin, just an amazing athlete there. You see the quick feet, brings it all the way back across the field, makes something out of a short pass play. The tackle there with Collins, but not until he had enough for the first down.
So 6:40 to go here in the third quarter. As we said, it's a running clock. It's basically high school football's version of the mercy rule. As they give it off to Coleman. Coleman breaks out of a couple tackles, pushes forward, and that'll be a nice pickup, close to 8 yards on the carry.
We've talked about how every single yard has been earned in a very tough way by the Miners, and that one's no different. Great job there by breaking tackles, finished off by a gang of Tigers defenders, but great run nonetheless.
And again, if you're Mingo, like I said, this could end up being like a big wake-up call going forward. Again, sometimes you need some cold water splashed on you to just get refocused, and this might end up being one of the best things that could have happened to them going towards the playoffs.
You hear that talk all the time, and I agree with it too. Sometimes when you're undefeated, you need a little wake-up call, especially before you get to the playoffs, and that's truly a worry of mine when I see this Chapmanville team because they haven't faced any adversity. Like even a single drive, the fourth down stop this year was probably their most dramatic letdown. So you got to wonder what happens in the playoffs when you get hit. So part of me was wishing this game would be a little bit dramatic and close because when they get to the postseason, they're no doubt going to face some serious situations, some intense pressure, and it's always amped up in the playoffs.
Knuckles does rush that forward for a first down to about the 25-yard line. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that 1991 UNLV team. Again, just blew out everybody in the regular season and even in the tournament, and then got to the Final Four against Duke. And while I'm not a Duke fan, they did end up defeating the Rebels in that semifinal as a great tackle by Adkins on the far side. That'll be a loss on the play.
Well, you got an injury on the field.
So a player down for Mingo Central. So while they attend to him, we'll step aside for a quick break and be back after this as you're watching high school football on the D&D Sports Network. They were able to help get the Mingo Central player off the field. Appeared to be all right as we go back to action. 2nd and 14 for the Miners as Knuckles escapes briefly, gets down inside the 25 as he lunges forward, and that'll be a gain of close to 6.
Trying to see the player there that came all the way back from the deep backfield trying to get the quarterback. Looked like to be Keegan Craddock. What a hustle play there by him. I think that's 20. Pardon if I'm wrong, but it's getting tough to see with the reflection of these lights at this time. You got to love those camo uniforms they have on tonight. You mentioned that earlier. Maybe they're hiding on that field. But I love the fact that they're just salute to service. We did a great job here at halftime. All the veterans stood up in the stands.
Yeah.
You love to see that. Love to see that support.
Absolutely. Now it'll be 3rd down and 9 as Knuckles will swing it out to the far side, completes it, trying to get upfield as Joplin, it appears, as he's going to be short of the first down by about 2 yards, it looks, as they get inside the 20-yard line for the first time tonight. But it'll be 4th down again for Mingo.
We've seen a lot of variations of their wide receiver screens, some tunnel screens, some typical bubble screens, and they just keep relying on that. You know, you're looking at 4th and short here. Obviously, they need something just to have some positivity out of this game. And, of course, on the flip side, Chapmanville is still playing hard, shooting for that shutout.
Looks like they're going to call it, 4th and a long 2 here for Mingo. But, if you're Chapmanville, you know they'd love to have the shutout here against Mingo, and Mingo knows it too. So, you know they want to fight to try and get in here with Knuckles. Quick throw to the outside, caught, but was it knocked away? Let's see, was it hung on to? And the officials are going to say he hung on. Great catch on the far side.
Nice catch. The pass was a bit inside towards the defenders. It's a strong catch with some strong hands there. We teach these kids at an early age to catch with their hands and not their pads, and that's a prime example why you do that. You reach out and snag it and make the catch.
I think that was Joplin again over on the far side. But, he had to take a wallop on that play, too, and hung on to it. So it'll be 1st and 10 again here for Mingo at the Chapmanville 15. They fake the handoff, tried to keep it as Knuckles to the outside, but he's going to get dropped in the backfield as Killen and several others able to get there, and that'll be close to a 5-yard loss.
Nice heads-up play by the defense there. They were not bothered by any type of misdirection. And once again, 2nd and long.
Again, our White Eye Care scoreboard update, 43-0. In favor of Chapmanville here as both teams undefeated, 8-0. Coming in here, Mingo Central number 5 in Class AA, Chapmanville number 9 in Class AAA. And I'd say this is a score that is a little bit surprising to a lot of teams and people around the state right now as Knuckles will roll near side. Looking to take off. Here he goes down to the 15 as he takes on a would-be tackler. And he gets back to about the original line of scrimmage.
What a play there by Benji Aggins. I don't know if you could see it on the broadcast there or not. I was leaning out to see this. Benji Aggins was guarding the receiver to make him hold off on that. And as soon as the quarterback pulled it down to run, he came up and helped make the tackle. Just a great heads-up play by Benji.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 here for Mingo as they've possessed the ball this entire quarter thus far. And like we said, it's a running clock right now in the 3rd quarter, but Mingo Central has had it for over 9.5 minutes, or actually 10.5 minutes, as they look to try and go down and get their first score of the game. Again, this is the deepest they've been into Chapmanville territory all night as Knuckles fires into the flat, completes it. Sarton gives ground, trying to turn the corner. He's ripped to the ground. Let's see if that was a clean tackle or not. Again, could have been a face mask, and let's see. It looks like there is a flag down.
It was an inadvertent, but it was a very bad face mask, but it was inadvertent, trying to reach out and make a play. But I think the flag was thrown finally on that.
Yeah, I think I see one down at the 17-yard line. And they're going to call this, personal foul face mask.
Yeah, even from our vantage point, you saw his head whip around. Just unfortunate, no intentions there. You know, he retreated some yards, and, a clean tackle there has him in trouble. But, now we have an automatic 1st down, and the shutout's in jeopardy.
So we're down to 35 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. So we'll see if Mingo's able to get another snap in before going to the 4th. They'll have it at the 8-yard line, close to the 7. So it's not a 1st down just yet, where it's just half the distance to the goal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I still go with usually college and pro rules whenever I see those plays, but it'll be 3rd down and 2 for Mingo, and it looks like that will bring us to the end of the third quarter as Chapmanville still leads at 43-0 as we head to the final 12 minutes. Back after this as you are watching high school football action right here on the D&D Sports Network.
The big win? Awesome. The smell? Not so much. That's why I use Smell My Tarts. Handmade wax melts, car diffusers, and room sprays that make everything fresh again. Because life's messy, but your home doesn't have to smell like it. Shop now at smellmytarts.com.
At Logan Regional Medical Center, our comprehensive inpatient rehabilitation program helps get you back to living life. With an 8-bed unit for patients 18 and over, our caring team of doctors, nurses, and rehabilitation specialists work with you, providing a full line of services to help you restore your capabilities and get you back home and back to living. Logan Regional Medical Center, providing inpatient rehabilitation close to home.
Start of quarter number 4 here from Chapmanville, West Virginia at Barker Stadium. Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you. J.J. Pruitt, our engineer. And again, we want to thank our second half sponsor, Styles Unlimited, helping us bring you the action here this evening. So it'll be a 3rd and 3 for the Miners as they already wound the clock to start the fourth quarter. As we said, anytime it's a lead of 42 or more in the third quarter or 35 or more in the fourth quarter, it's a running clock. So they'll pitch it to Joplin, coming near side. He's hit, and Killen once again makes a big play.
Austin Killen's making such great plays from the linebacker position. He's reading the plays, he's seeking, he's destroying. A little Metallica reference there. But a great tackle there in the backfield.
I love how just you dropped it and moved on. It's like if you caught it or you didn't. Let's go.
Hey, it's a running clock, Chris. I got to get in.
Yeah, you're right. We only got about 11 minutes to get in, whatever we got to get in right now. It'll be 4th down and 4 for Mingo. And they've had the ball the entire second half so far with this running clock. So it's been a 13-minute drive.
And here's a play if we want to see if the shutout's going to stand.
Here we go, 4th and 4. It'll be a fade pattern near side for Joplin and deflected away. Great defensive play, and Wesley Watts appears to be the man that knocked it away. And Chapmanville keeps the shutout intact for now.
Watts is having a great evening in the secondary. You know, you have he and Austin Atkins back there. I mean, it makes it tough. You have Witt. That secondary is tough. Great heads-up play, not a bad ball, right in the spot where it needs to be, but just an even better defensive play.
So now Chapmanville gets the ball for the first time in the second half after a methodical drive by Mingo that doesn't end in points.
It's been a long time since they've had the ball. You know, you look at halftime and you look to the fourth quarter. It's been quite a while.
Yeah, again, because at the end of the first half, Mingo had the drive to go downfield, and the pick six was how the first half ended. So, yeah, I'm like you. It's been about 15 minutes of game time since they had the ball and nearly ended in disaster there. Has tried to set up a little screen and nearly a pick six.
Just a dangerous play there, but you know, going backpedaling and a throw there out wide. I'm not sure what Jackson Topping went up and told him, and knowing Jackson, he's probably like, "What are you doing, man?" Because he'll shoot you straight and make you laugh at the same time. So I think Jackson was saying, "What's up? Let's keep this shutout."
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Jackson Topping, just one of the most determined people I've ever met. I could not get my computer to hook up to my big screen in the room. And he was determined to do it in order to try and, make a deal with me this week. And, he was dead set on it. And you know what? He achieved it, so I appreciated it.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
There's a nice run off the left side for Chapmanville. It may have been Collins as Lusk was out there helping blocking.
With it being Halloween, I'm surprised nobody has done a tribute to Michael Myers and Ashton Genty by standing like Myers in the backfield before they get the ball. I would have been all over that in high school, just the fact of pop culture reference mixed with football. So,
yeah, that's been one of the cool things. You look at the Mingo Central cheerleaders, the Chapmanville cheerleaders, all in costumes here tonight. It's on
they have a humongous lead, but all 5 of those linemen were at minimum 5 yards down the field blocking hard. I hope people realize what discipline that takes from a line.
Here they go again with Collins as he'll get out across the 30 for about 3 yards And Chapmanville would love to just possess the ball here, make sure Mingo doesn't get it back to have a chance to try and crack onto the scoreboard. But, yeah, I'm like you. The offensive line, again, it's almost like referees. You don't notice it till you have to notice it. And if it's really bad, then you definitely notice it. If it's really good, then sometimes you don't notice it till you really start taking a good look. And this Chapmanville front has been dominant all season long. They'll give it off here on 2nd and 7 as Ellison will get the carry and pick up a few yards out to the 35.
If I'm not mistaken, Chapmanville has not given up a sack this season.
Oh, okay.
They had a streak. I don't know if we can get a check on that, but early on, I thought they had a streak of a sackless streak in that season. So that's something. When you're 9 games deep in a season, no matter
pretty good.
People wrongfully so want to talk about the competition they're playing, which we've talked about why their schedule is the way it is, going from AA to AAA. But no matter who you play, to go 8 or 9 games without giving up a sack is pretty substantial.
Yeah, and I'd say that this will get the attention of a lot of AAA schools out there now, or a lot of schools that have been saying a lot of those things about Chapmanville, because Mingo Central's a good team, and Chapmanville has just handled them here tonight as Ellison burst out across the 40-yard line for about a 7-yard pickup, and that'll move the chains again.
Yeah, like you mentioned just a few moments ago, they want to get out of this with a shutout. A few more first downs with the running clock won't be hard to do. And we see a quarterback change. We see Archer Altizer come in the game.
Yeah, so Dakota Dalton's evening is done. After a great first half, had a couple of rushing touchdowns, passing touchdowns. And again, all that in one half of action, but they'll kick him out, and you'll start to see some more starters wander off the field, like Adkins and Benji Adkins and Austin Adkins coming out as Altizer. He's been a tough little quarterback for Chapmanville on JV. He's done a great job, and we've seen him in almost every game this year.
Yeah, we have, which is invaluable to him. He's been lighting it up on the JV games, and he comes in here. He's a very capable backup for a freshman especially, and you see now, Jackson Topping coming off the field, playing both sides of the ball with a great game. Trey Ward, all the other guys. Just another example of Chapmanville getting these guys opportunity, and that's what makes the starters' stats even that more impressive with the numbers they're putting up. They're not playing full games, Chris.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking, too. I was like, to be able to achieve what they have offensively without really playing a full game except for maybe 1 or 2 just speaks large volumes as to how talented this team is, as Altizer keeps it and rushes into the line. He'll pick up close to 3 on that carry, out to about the 48. I tell you what, he's got a little brother, too, Crosby, that played on the Chapmanville B team this year. They lost in the semifinals to Logan last week, but boy, I tell you, Crosby Altizer, he's got a lot of talent as well. So this is just a couple of brothers that looking to do a lot of damage. But right now we've got a Chapmanville player down on the field. We'll step aside for a quick break and be back after this as you're watching high school football on the D&D Sports Network.
Getting ready for sports means protecting those eyes. Up to 90% of sport-related eye injuries can be prevented with proper eye protection. White Eye Care knows this and is committed to providing the best protective sportswear for your child's eyes. As a proud sponsor of our community sports programs, we want to see our kids protected, from the little ones up to the big leagues. Our huge selection of eyewear makes finding that perfect pair easy. So win big this season. Call White Eye Care in Logan for an appointment today.
If you're looking for a friendly and fun atmosphere to enjoy your daily cuisine, come to Cheech's Pizza in Lenore, West Virginia. Cheech's Pizza has world-renowned cheese sticks, delicious pizza, and the best subs in the pizza and pasta game. Don't forget to take advantage of our milkshake shop located inside. Bring your family down to meet ours. We are the place that treats you like family from the second you pull in the parking lot. We look forward to seeing you here at Cheech's Pizza.
Back here in Chapmanville, as Ellison had to be helped off the field, didn't put any weight on his right leg as he was coming off, as they'll hand it off up the middle here as he's being checked out on the sidelines right now, as that'll be a gain of 2 out towards midfield.
Hand off to Bobby Boucher, Sawyer Dalton.
I was going to say, I was waiting. I was like, was that Sawyer? Yes, it was.
I like to see Saw Dog bust one up the middle. And, he tackles you with the ball or without the ball. I like the way he runs with it. So He's straight line Bobby Boucher style all the time.
And he's just got such a calm demeanor. It was funny. I kind of had a moment this week in class where I didn't yell and scream, but I definitely didn't. I let them know I wasn't happy, and they just got really quiet and scared, and they said it was almost like if Sawyer Dalton started screaming at us. They said we wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, it's a contrast of how violent he plays and how calm his demeanor is off the field. A good kid, but he flips that switch when he gets between the lines.
And now it looks like Chapmanville let the play clock run all the way down as they will take a delay of game penalty with 4:04 to go here in the fourth. So I don't know if Chapmanville's looking to punt here or not.
I always like to see the backup lineman get in there too. You know, you see these numbers you don't see quite often. You see Parker Sargent in there, Landon Williams on the line, and it's always good to get because you know how we talked about how important their offensive line is. So you get in the playoffs, if you suffer an injury, you got to be able to rely on some of these backups.
Now the game clock runs again, 3:43 and counting as 4 on the play clock. Altizer will take the snap, fakes it, looks to throw, fires deep downfield's got a man, and he completes it. Perry grabs it inside the 30-yard line to the 26, and what a strike by Altizer.
Great play action pass, such an accurate throw. Great play by Altizer. We've seen him do it all season from the preseason to JV to under the lights here with the varsity game.
And Keegan Craddock, I apologize. That was you on that catch. So Cooper Perry, I'll have to give the money back. Yeah, good catch there by Keegan Craddock and a great throw by Altizer. As we're under 3 minutes to go, pass tipped and almost caught on the ricochet there by Craddock. But it'll be 2nd and 10 with under 3 minutes to go.
Looked like it went back to the well for the same play there. Quarterback pressure, but Archer, as we've seen many times, he will stand in and take a hit when he makes a throw. Just incomplete, a little bit too high there.
He is just a tough kid. He's one of those just made out of granite and steel. He loves to find contact as well.
It takes so much for a quarterback to stand when you see somebody coming to have that wherewithal and that guts to stand your ground and still make the throw and make it correctly.
Keep it on the quarterback keeper this time. Breaks out of one tackle as he spins down to about the 25 for a gain of 1 on the carry.
Another big hit. The Miners defense still playing tough. Kudos to them. They were in the backfield pretty quick, and Archer could not escape the attack there.
Yeah, so, again, we'll see where the standings are after this. Again, Logan's winning pretty comfortably tonight against St. Albans. That's the team that's going to come in here against Chapmanville next week. But it'll be interesting to see where the rankings are after this. I still say Mingo's going to stay pretty high up in AA despite this. We saw Logan losing Chapmanville last week. They didn't fall very far.
Right.
So I don't think this is going to have that big of effect on Mingo at the end of the day, thankfully. And I think you'll see Chapmanville climb up maybe a few spots.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt them too bad, like you said, Chris. It's a very good evaluation because you're playing that's the advantage of playing another undefeated team.
Now on 3rd and 10, they'll give it off to Easton Bender. Tries to get outside, and he'll be tackled from behind as we're down to 1.5 minutes to go now, and it'll be 4th down for Chapmanville. Again, only one possession in the second half for both teams. Mingo had it for over 13 minutes before they were stopped on 4th down. Chapmanville's had it virtually the entire 4th quarter as well.
Chapmanville subbing some more players in. That's a great look, by the coaching staff there. Your entire roster helps you the entire season at practice. They show up. They work their tails off. I love to see everybody getting a chance to get in there at this level.
I tell you what, McClanahan's going to give it a shot here from 42 yards out. So let's see the leg on him. He'll blast it. It's got the distance. Did it get there? Yes! McClanahan drills it from 42 yards out. Wow, what a leg by him. And he's been highly touted. A lot of people talking about the leg he's got. And he's just a sophomore as well.
Yeah, you saw his name everywhere over the summer at kicking camps and on certain lists and stuff like that. He shows you exactly why. Made that look very easy at this level. You don't see that very often. We have complimented the special teams group on both sides of the ball, the defense, the kickoff team, the kicking team. Just great execution all year long. What a kick.
That had just enough distance and had the right accuracy. And McClanahan puts the only point so far the second half on the board with 46.4 seconds to go. Well, that'll give us a chance to say our final thank you to our sponsors here tonight. Again, our second half sponsors, Styles Unlimited. Thank you for being our second half sponsor tonight. Rebound Physical Therapy. Smell My Tarts. Perry Brothers Pawn Shop. Blessings and Blooms. Salmon Supply. Wide Eye Care, Logan Regional Medical Center, Hill Chiropractic, PT12 Pizzeria, Stereo Video Unlimited, Trend Services, Domino Printing, LB&T Banking, Runyon Insurance, and Off the Beaten Trails Quick Stop. Again, thank you again for all your support here tonight. So now Chapmanville will kick off as the clock starts again with 35 seconds to go. As McClanahan, who just drilled that 42-yard field goal, will kick this one deep. It'll be fielded by Mingo to about the 28-yard line, out across the 35 to about the 38-yard line. And we'll see if Mingo is able to get another play off here or not. We're down to 17 seconds, and it looks like everyone's going to call it an evening here as Chapmanville gets ready to line up for shake hands. Mingo will as well. And it's a 46-0 statement win here tonight for the Chapmanville Tigers over Mingo. So now Chapmanville, Dwayne, just one win away from an undefeated regular season. They take on St. Albans next week. They'll be heavy favorites in that game. But this right here, I think, is going to catch a lot of people's attention around the state when they see this final.
I agree, Chris. Most people are already paying attention, but I'm sure there's a lot that this is going to wake up and say this Chapmanville team is for real. They took this team down in efficiency, in explosive plays, in a way that we didn't expect. So you can't have a letdown to a team you're expected to win and win big most likely next week. You've got to keep that focus and roll into the playoff with the same mindset.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. We actually didn't really discuss it just yet, but it's time now for our Tug Valley Wellness Center player of the game. And I don't really have one specific in mind. I mean, it's just the whole team tonight.
The whole team, individually, the whole team across the board, you see what an effective game plan and performance. But, if I had to think of three players, you had Trey Ward with the almost 100-yard interception return and a touchdown catch. You have Austin Aggins doing a little bit of everything. You have Dakota making those plays. So it's really tough to find just one player on this team tonight. I do.
I think this is the most sound win and most complete win Chapmanville's had all season, and that's saying something as they win it going away here tonight, 46-0 over the Mingo Central Miners. So Mingo will drop to 8-1. Chapmanville continues on at 9-0, and we'll be here next Friday night as the Tigers look to finish off an undefeated regular season as they take on St. Albans. So again, we want to thank all our sponsors again tonight. We want to thank J.J. Pruitt, our engineer, Grayson Sanders, all the stats here tonight. We appreciate it. Got Dwayne Williams, want to appreciate and thank him for being here with me tonight. And I'm Chris Kidd saying so long and happy Halloween to everybody out there. Hope you have a safe and a fun one here this evening as you've been watching